Hi 3B, I hope everyone is well. So your pack of work this week, let me just talk you through what we've planned for you to do. For English, we've found a beautiful little short film and it's called Le Petit Cordonnier, but that translates into English as The Little Shoemaker. So it's a beautiful little animation. It's only about 3 or 4 minutes long and we've planned some really lovely writing tasks for you to do using that film. The first day though, there's some questions for you to answer. Okay, so it's like a reading comprehension, but the questions are all about a short film. Okay, so they're written out for you. And then you're going to meet two main characters in this film. There's the traditional shoemaker, the man who's been working in Paris for years and years and years, making his pairs of shoes. And then there's this new, funky, fancy kind of visitor to the town, and he also makes shoes. So the two shoemakers have a little bit of a competition with each other. So you've got a little bit of an activity to write some conversation that those two characters might have with each other. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers about the film, but there's also a design activity at the end of this. So you'll see that the new shoemaker, he has quite a funky way of selling his shoes. He's designed a really cool way of presenting his shoes. So we'd like you to design something as well, and that's on task 5. I think lots of you will really enjoy doing that. Okay, there's also another reading comprehension. So there's 2 reading tasks this week, and the separate one is all about rainforest creatures, which I know that you will really love. You seem to really enjoy work about animals. So there's some different levels. There's an easier one or a slightly harder one for you to choose which one you'd like to work at. Okay, now your maths work this week continues looking at time to the nearest minute, and then also thinking about telling time using AM and PM to describe the time of day that the time is, and then also thinking about telling the time on a 24-hour clock. So using the 24 hours in the day to show the difference on a digital clock from an analog clock. Okay, so some time activities there. There's also a link on My Maths for you to do a My Maths activity based on time durations. Okay, there's a new geography topic, and it's all about the coasts, and you've been asked to use some more mapping skills to locate UK coastal places, coastal destinations on a map. So I think another mapping activity. Lots of you seem to really enjoy using maps to find different countries and oceans, so that should be a really good one. D&T, so it's a food-based activity, so we would like you to become cooks in your household and design a delicious sandwich, not just your straightforward cheese sandwich, ham sandwich, jam sandwich, but a super healthy, interesting, different sandwich that you're going to plan, thinking about your Eat Well plate from last week when you had to think about different food groups. So design a sandwich, plan your sandwich, maybe it might involve a little bit of shopping too, and then we'd like you to independently, because this is how it would be in the classroom if we were doing this, completely independently make your sandwich, photograph it, draw it, and then do a little taste test of your sandwich and see if it's as good as you'd hoped it would be. Okay, science this week. So we're thinking a little bit about plants this week and how water is transported from the roots all the way up the stem and to the leaves. And there's an experiment that you're going to set up if you're able to. So you'll need a bunch of flowers, preferably flowers that have white petals, or this is an easier option, a bunch of celery that still has the leaves on it. So the leaves are really, really important. And you're going to set up an experiment to see if you can prove how water is transported through the stem of a flower. Okay, and PSHE this week, I've put you a link up to an absolutely amazing book. It's called There's a Boy Just Like Me. We've got a copy of it in our classroom. I wonder if any of you ever picked it up and had a glance at it. It's an amazing book by a schoolboy called Fraser Cox. When he wrote it, he was 10 or 11, which is amazing. When you hear the book, it's amazing that he did this. And there's a YouTube link to listen to him reading a part of it. Only part of it, it's not the whole book. And it's all about refugees. And I'd like you, there's another clip as well about a little boy called Ali, a refugee who moved from Afghanistan to England. And I'd like you with your family to just have a little conversation about refugees and who they are, what makes somebody a refugee, and how life can be so very difficult for refugees. I was speaking to Matty last week, and she told me that the book she's currently reading is called The Boy at the Back of the Class. And I don't know if any of you have also read this book or picked it up or seen it. I can't remember the author at the moment. I haven't got a copy near me. It's an absolutely beautiful book, a brilliant book, and that is also about a refugee. So if you were looking for a book recommendation, a next read might be that book as well. Matty said she was really enjoying it. And final activity, your PE for this week, I'd like you to think a little bit about timing yourself to do some circuits. So it could either be just some straightforward running circuits, it could be a little bit of an assault course. Time yourself doing a set distance and then keep repeating it and see if you can beat your time. You might want to keep a record of the times that it took you to complete the course. You might want to challenge someone in your family to do the same.